afternoon, good evening. My name is Nicole and I am here to talk about knitting and about wool and about all of these things that we love. I know that there are so many videos talking about these topics and probably we don't need any more, but I'm doing this in English and Spanish and I thought that it could be interesting, and I figured I could talk about my favorite things, about knitting and wool, and also maybe a little bit about plants. So I thought that at the end of every video I could tell you about one of my favorite plants. On Instagram you can find me as ThymeWeaver because I like plants and I like wool. And I like plays on words. In Spanish, my little video segment is called Al Sol y Punto, and that means, it's like a play on words also because punto is knitting, but it also means like, and that's it. So if you say al sol y punto, you're saying like to the sun, and that's it. Like we'll just go to the sun and knit. That's it, or that's knit. That's it. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So I decided to join this community and make some videos because I want to join a knitting challenge which my friends are organizing. Antonio from Beagle Knits and Marta and Miguel from Merino Feroz, and I have my beautiful Merino Feroz bag, which actually says Merino Feliz, which means happy merino or fierce merino. It's like also a play on words. Yes, so I wanted to join this challenge and I'm going to explain the challenge to you, and maybe someone here watching would like to join as well because I think it's a really fun thing to do this summer. So the challenge is that they have chosen 3 words, like suggestions from viewers or suggestions from people online or friends, and then they drew out of a hat, and those 3 words are going to be used for everyone in the community to create their own design, and the design should be ready to wear, like ready to be written and for other people to use it, and then to knit or crochet and bring it to Barcelona Knits, which is a festival here in Spain. And yeah, we don't know if there will be a Barcelona Knits 2020, but we hope so. And if you live in another country, maybe there are some other fall festivals. I mean, I think there's a pretty famous one called Rhinebeck over in New York. And yeah, I'm sure that there are festivals of wool somewhere, but if not, we're gonna do it virtually and it's gonna be great. And I think it's gonna be a really fun experience for us to knit something inspired by these 3 words. Okay, so let me tell you the words. So the first one is the feeling, and the feeling that was chosen was intensity. Intensidad. So intensity. Yeah, all right. The place that was chosen was the salt mines of Uyuni in Bolivia. And the color was colores que saben a buen tiempo, which means colors that taste like good time. And I thought that was just fantastic. First of all, Bolivia, I love Bolivia. My father-in-law is from there, and it's just such a wonderful country, and the culture and the people and everything about the country I absolutely love. And when that was the place, I was like, I need to knit something inspired by Bolivia and these salt mines. Have you seen these salt mines? I'm going to try and put some pictures in here because it's amazing. I actually was in the salt mines of Jujuy, which is in the north of Argentina, back in 2007. So I can put a picture of that also here. Okay, so the salt mines of Bolivia, and then yeah, so when I heard the colors that taste like good weather, I knew exactly what yarn I wanted. So this is my colors that taste like good weather. And the name of this colorway is beach. So like, what more could you ask for? I don't know, I'm definitely a beach person. I'm from New York and I grew up about 10 minutes away from Jones Beach, the beach on the south shore of Long Island, and now I live in the south of Spain and it's beautiful, but I don't have a car, so I never go to the beach, and I miss being like a bike ride away from the Atlantic Ocean. Like, that's amazing. So I'm definitely a beach person. And these colors just for me, these taste like good weather. And I fell in love with this colorway and this skein of yarn by Dingolondagos, which is a woman from Seville who dyes yarn, and I saw it on her page, and she was getting excited for the festival that we were all going to go to in March, which got canceled. So I never actually, this was going to be the one thing I bought from the festival, from the fair, and we didn't actually get to go. But when I heard this challenge, I was like, that's the color I need to use for my challenge of 3 words. Knit 3 words challenge, I think in English. In Spanish, reto teje 3 palabras. Yes, so I love this yarn. Also, I love that it's from Seville, because before I lived here in Granada, I lived in Seville, and the person who taught me how to knit, my partner's mother, she's from Seville, and I lived there for 5 years, and anyway, I like Seville. I like this brand of yarn, Dingolondagos, and I'm really excited. I have it open here, and I just think that it's absolutely beautiful. So excited to wind it up. That's why I really wanted to come and make this video finally, so that I can start. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to make a cowl, and I am going to make like a braid or like a cable in the cowl, which reminds me of the salteña. So this is a Bolivian empanada, and we eat them here in Spain, and we have like this, we know this Bolivian family who makes them, and we like call them up and say like, hey, can you make us 10 salteñas for this Sunday? And we go pick them up, and they're amazing. It's like this empanada that inside has like almost like a stew, like it's like got a lot of liquid, and it's like salty and sweet. There's like raisins and meat and olive and egg. It's like, oh, but it's very delicious. But the beautiful part of the salteña is that it has this like beautiful little braid on the top. And I was thinking about Bolivia, and I don't know, that's what came to mind, and I was like, I could make a cowl inspired by the salteña with a beautiful braid. And yes, also these colors really remind me of like Bolivia, because of the sky in La Paz, because La Paz is one of the highest cities in all of the world. It's got such a high altitude, and the color of the sky is like this blue. So that's another reason why. So I've got the place, Bolivia, the colors that taste like good weather, and then the feeling is intensity. And honestly, intensity, just because I'm getting on this camera and talking to all you guys on the internet, and that's kind of embarrassing to me, but it's okay, it's fine. Yeah, so I hope to cast that on soon, and I will be sharing my progress with everyone. It's so exciting to see. If you put in like the hashtag, you can see other people who are also designing for this challenge, and I just think it's a really nice thing to do together. So what else can I tell you? I guess that's it. I don't know if you have any questions. Yeah, that's it. That's fine. I'm going to tell you about my favorite plant. So one of my favorite plants. I can't say that it's my favorite because I have so many favorites, but one of my favorites is nettles. And nettles is just like an amazing plant. So I thought that I could share a little bit about what I know about nettles. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a botanist. I'm just someone who's really interested in plants. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about nettles. Okay, talk to you later. So, what can I say about nettles? I think that nettles are like one of the most amazing plants on this planet. It is such a nutrient-dense, rich, amazing, multi-purpose, prolific plant that grows all around the world, and it's just so lush and amazing. And yes, maybe you'll say, hey, nettles can sting you, and that's, yes, okay, nettles can sting you, but if you ever get stung by a nettle, I'm sure that in the same little area that the nettles are growing, there will be a plantain plant. And if you just like squish that up, chew it up really, and put that on your sting, you'll be fine. Okay? So, no problem if you get stung by nettles. Actually, people use nettles if they're having like lower back pain or like arthritis pain. People actually will, I think it's called urtication or something, and they like hit themselves with the nettle, and that will like stimulate the movement of blood and just like bring movement to that area, and it alleviates pain. Nettles are amazing for eating. You can make nettle stew. You can make nettle pesto, which is absolutely delicious. The same way you would make basil pesto, you can make nettle pesto, and that's really delicious. It has so many nutrients, minerals, vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, various vitamin Bs, minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, all of these amino acids that are like essential to your body functioning well, folic acid. It's amazing. It is really, really rich in protein. I think it's one of the most like rich plants in protein, so you can get like lots of grams of protein if you drink a nettle infusion, for example, or make some nettle soup. It's anti-inflammatory. It's like really good for people who have allergies. Like it's good for people who have like these histamine reactions, and nettle also works with your adrenals. So if you're having like fatigue or you're just feeling tired, it's not something that you're gonna drink nettle infusion and like stay up all night. It's not like coffee, but I think that over a long period of time, drinking nettles will give you like this deep sense of energy. Yeah, nettles, I drink nettles in like a rotation of infusions that I drink every week. I go through different herbs and plants, so I can talk about all of them, don't worry. But nettles, once a week, I would say, normally on Tuesdays, because nettles has an affinity for the planet Mars, which, you know, is Tuesday, in Spanish, martes, Mars. But that's just something crazy that in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to drink it on Tuesdays. It is a little bit drying because it's diuretic. So if you're having water retention issues, it's a great ally. But yeah, so I wouldn't drink it every single day if you tend to be drier, but once a week is absolutely fine. What I do is I take 30 grams of dried nettles, more or less. I mean, it's about like a cup or a half a cup. It's about a cup. And put it with a liter of boiled water, and then I let it infuse overnight, or at least 4 hours if I do it in the morning. But overnight, and you will get this like dark, rich, like full of chlorophyll, delicious drink, and I love to drink it over ice. It is so good. It's really good. It tastes like, my friend said, it tastes like a field, and it does. It's just so good. But it doesn't have a strong taste. I would not add sugar or honey to it. It's not something that you want to make sweet. If anything, it's salty, and I've heard people heating it up and putting like miso in it. I've never done that, but that could be an option. It's really good for your garden. It's like, you can use it as a fertilizer if you just like I typically just take the spent nettle, like the nettle after I've infused it and filtered it, and I will like put that in the garden, or I bring it out to the countryside when I go out, and yeah. So also, you can dye with it. It's a natural dye. You can get like a really beautiful green color with the nettle. And you can make fiber with it. That's another thing that's amazing. Nettle is just so great. I love nettle. There's a little bee right here interested in my foot, which is interesting because nettle has the same acid in the stingers of the nettle. They're like little needles, like injection needles, and in there is, I'm not sure of the name, but it's this acid which is very similar, or I think it might even be the same chemical constituents as what bees have. So, but don't worry, when you cook nettles, when you dry nettles, you're not going to have the stingers. Even when you make pesto out of it, you're not going to sting yourself, so it's fine. So, I highly recommend nettles. I love them, and I hope that you can get to know your local nettle, because there's nettle all over. All right, so that was it. I hope you have a good day. Ciao. much.